Fearless Pioneer.
Yo, what is going on, guys? EJ here, bringing another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. Today, guys, before we get into the video, we want to give a big shout out to Skies for winning the giveaway. Congratulations to them. We ended up hooking them up with a PlayStation 4 card, actually. They were from Sweden, so I sorted it out and bought them a, I think it was like 15 Australian dollar. I think it was like about 100 kronas or whatever their currency was over there. So yeah, hooked them up with a PlayStation card, so it doesn't just have to be gems all the time. It can be something different. So yeah, big congratulations to them. Just remember, guys, season 5 is it's coming. We're not too far away, about just over a week or so now. So I will be giving away 2 season passes for that. So yeah, stay tuned. Just be subscribed. And yeah, keep an eye out when that video comes out. Alright, guys, so let's get into today's video, shall we? First off, we're just going to do a recap a little bit of what we did in our last video, just real quick. So, in our last video, we had a look at the elite units and some of all the new stuff, so we're just going to briefly go over it. If you want to see more in-depth of that, you can just check out the video. It was my most recent one, except for today's, of course. But basically, this video is going to be an adaptation to that, and it's going to be more in-depth because there's some more information. Basically, it's just going to be a full breakdown of the new devs video that they did, like we did with the last video, as well as some extra information and such. But yeah, in our last video, we talked about a few things, like about how to unlock elite units and stuff like that, which basically you need to get your main horde to level 7, as you can see here. And then from there, you are able to unlock different stages and work with the Master and Arms. But we'll go more in depth with the video today of that, because you'll get a way better understanding. Or like I said, you can just check out the other video, but this is going to be a full in-depth more breakdown. And yeah, the one thing I just wanted to talk about as well is elite medals. So elite medals is going to be like a currency you can earn. You're going to be able to do these by doing the special tasks and stuff like that, which will be in the tavern, as you can see on the screen, what they're going to kind of look like. And you're going to be able to unlock elite medals, and these elite medals and stuff are going to be used to unlock the phase 1 of training, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And from there, about how you can trade them for new currencies and stuff. We're going to talk about, it's going to be a bunch of new currencies as well. So yeah, let's get into it now. That was just a little bit of information just to give you a better understanding of what we're going to talk about today, guys. Now, with the first phase, guys, it is going to be armor. So basically, I want to keep it simple and easy for people to understand. Like, a lot of people told me last video was easy to understand. So I just want to make it super simple and easy. So, with the first phase, it is going to be basically buffing your armor. Now, there is going to be 3 different types. There is going to be light armor, heavy armor, and no armor. Now, with these different armors, it's going to do different kinds of effects. For example, a light armor is going to buff things which include ranged kind of attacks, where heavy armor, consistently makes sense, would buff heavy kind of attacks. And that's basically it for step 1. I believe with the step 1, you're going to be using the elite medals to do so. So, very interesting, very simple to the point, so hopefully you can understand that, guys. Moving on into our second phase of soldier training is going to be weapon crafting. Now, with weapon crafting, there is going to be 3 different steps as well, or 3 different options that we talk about, and it's going to be for melee weapons, ranged weapons, and no weapons. Now, this is basically whether your commander is using a melee, ranged, or no weapon, it is going to do different kinds of buffs. Now, they gave us an example of like swords here, and as one of the skills, it would be like a dual blade, so possibly it could attack twice. They went into different things about the troops being attacking and defending kind of troops, and how it can affect the skilling. But yeah, it can unlock a whole different amount of skills. It's very particular to a piece of equipment of weapon or armor, for example, in phase 1, on what that skill is particularly going to be. Now, these skills are going to be able to be upgraded with gold as well. So to give you guys an example of what we just talked about in the first phase and second phase, we have a picture here from the Revelations channel and the main channel, and it's showing you an example. It's got all these different skills and stuff up here. So, with phase 1 skilling, if you have light leather armor, it is going to reduce damage from melee attacks. So, that is what a light leather armor would do in this particular case. Now, with weakness assault, for every one negative status received, the damage dealt increases. So, basically, this is probably going to go on whatever weapon you're running. Then the third one here, reducing damage when fighting on land not occupied by buildings. So this is going to be if you have phase 3 training and stuff, which we haven't talked about yet. We will talk about it in a minute. There is some other information here, which is about the new skills are clearly different from the original skills. This season, wandering troops bring additional loot, which can only be obtained after the player completes elite training camp. So yeah, also I didn't mention earlier as well, but obviously when you hit main hall 7, you build your elite training camp. And this is going to give the ability to do all of this stuff and build these elite troops and stuff like that. And then the Master of Arms is where we're going to be doing all the skilling and stuff like that and unlocking all these skills. Okay, guys, moving on to phase 3 of soldier training. It is going to be called Awakening. Now, basically, in Awakening, it's going to basically buff your effects. Now, like your effects like your HP, your armor, your attack, and your speed. Basically, your base stats that you normally see. It also can affect things like conscription time and conscription costs. So that is something really cool to keep into effect. Now, something I don't know yet is whether you can stack all this. For example, you can have phase 1, 2, and 3 stats all across. I feel like you possibly can. There's a lot of information. It's just going to have to get into the game and test it out and stuff like that. And I'm going to have to do more in-depth videos of when I'm actually in and testing it all out and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to grind up really quickly and unlock all of these with Main Hall 7 and unlock the Elite Training Grounds and get into this. But yeah, Season 5 is getting pretty close, just over about a week or so now. So not too long. Been sitting and bagging for ages. But yeah, it's basically going to buff your stats, which is pretty cool and can reduce conscription times and stuff and resources. So that is a pretty cool effect. Now, guys, the last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up the video is these new currencies and stuff like that, which will be used with the Master of Arms as well. So let's go have a look at that, shall we? And it's all going to intertwine with everything we just talked about. So, guys, as you can see, we have these training materials here. We've got a thing called a trial record. And then we have the Tome of Awakening, which is for men. It says men underneath there. So possibly there could be different tomes for the different races in the game. And then we have the elite medals. So it says here, certain materials are required to upgrade your common units into elite units, including the trail record, the Tome of Awakening, and the elite medal. So these are all going to be used for upgrading the units from common to elite. Now, we have a little bit more information here with the Master of Arms. In the new campaign, Master of Arms will open training exchange and training regiment after you finish a certain task, which we talked about those tasks before. So as you can see in the picture there, we have the things there of training plan, training skills, and then of course equipment for sale. So the training plan looks more about where we're going to be trading in our things like our elite medals and stuff like that. And then that's probably where we're going to get our plans and stuff like that. And then that's where we can then teach our skills underneath. It says here, you could exchange a trial of record for Tome of Awakening of each race and elite medal in training exchange. So, okay, it gives us an idea of what we're using here. So, the trial of record can be traded for a Tome of Awakening for any of each race that you want to use. And the elite medals are used in the training exchange. Okay. So that explains a little bit, but I'm still a bit confused. Like, hopefully we have a little bit of an idea. I definitely understand of how all the stages work and stuff like that. The ability of how to unlock them and that. The more training aspect about it, it's not fully clearly explained, but I have a certain idea. So hopefully you guys understand a little bit. Basically, we have to earn these training materials and stuff like that by doing these certain tasks that come in the tavern. I also believe you can get certain items from attacking mobs, and there will be elite mobs on the map and stuff like that. And yeah, basically you're going to be able to trade them up in the certain sections and then we're going to be able to unlock all these skills and that for our elite units and such forth. But yeah, guys, we're going to wrap it up there before I start rambling on too much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys enjoyed the last one, how I broke it down, and like it's just nice and broken down in each section, and it's easier to understand. Like I enjoyed the developers' videos. I have a bit of trouble like following them sometimes. Like I usually have to pause them, stop and pause them, and that. I don't know if it's just a little bit of a language barrier or something like that, but I enjoy the videos and that. I just find it a little bit hard. Like it's just the way I learn. I like to like stop, pause things, break it down, and let's rewatch things. So hopefully some of you guys might be the same as me. It's just easier when it's broken down into still images and that, and I'm just fully explaining that certain section bit by bit. But yeah, guys, we're going to wrap it up. So until next time, peace out, EJ's out, and I'll catch you guys later. See you.
Thousands of the EJU.